Hi, Kerry David Richards here, and welcome to Killing It on Amazon with the Perma-Free Solution. Believe it or not, utilizing the Perma-Free strategy is one of the key weapons in many of the top-selling self-published authors' marketing arsenals. You may be wondering what I mean when I say Perma-Free. A Perma-Free book is just like it sounds. It's a book that you have loaded into Amazon in such a way as to have it show up listed at 0.00 price. But what you say, I've used Amazon as my retailer of choice for quite a while now, and I've never found a price option that includes free. Well, you would be right. The lowest price I believe you can charge for your book listed on Amazon is 99 cents. Confused yet? Well, hang in there. Let me first give you the big picture concept, and then I'll explain how to pull it off. Quick note, the Perma-Free strategy I'm talking about differs from the KDP Select free options, which are used in a slightly different way and for a different purpose than your Perma-Free books. But why would an otherwise sane individual who has worked for months, or maybe even years, on a book want to then turn around and offer it for free? We would all agree, I think, that when selling anything online, traffic equals sales, right? I mean, publishing a book on Amazon or anywhere else for that matter, and then sitting back and waiting for the world to discover your brilliance just isn't going to work anymore, if it ever did. You would have as much chance of identifying a single grain of sand on a wide tropical beach as finding a single published book in the vast and ever-growing universe that is digital publishing today. So, what to do? How do you get your single blade of grass noticed in the Amazon jungle? What you need to do is point traffic at your book. And not just traffic, mind you, but highly targeted, engaged traffic. By targeted and engaged, I of course mean people who are interested in the things that your book is about, whether it's your latest vampire novel or your self-help book about potty training your Labrador. There are lots of ways to get targeted, engaged traffic. One is to go ahead and buy it. This is a strategy that can cause panic attacks in lots of beginning and even seasoned authors. Trust me, I know how easy it is to allow Facebook or Google to perform their patented wallet vacuuming service on you. Having said that, there are some ways of paying for traffic that make sense, and we'll cover those in a future publication. The other way to point highly targeted, engaged traffic at your masterpiece is by utilizing the Perma-Free book strategy. It takes a little work, but it's free and can make a huge difference in your self-publishing business. Before I get too far into this concept, let me say that this strategy depends heavily on the fact that you are writing books in a series. Fiction or nonfiction, you'll need probably a minimum of 3 books that lead naturally one into the next for this to work properly. Free books are downloaded approximately 50 times more than even books priced at 99 cents. The key to the Perma-Free strategy is to be able to turn that stream of interested readers into email addresses. Interested, engaged subscribers to your email list are as good as dollars in the bank. Now, I'm from Seattle, and where I live, they have a Starbucks store on every corner. And you think I'm kidding. I actually can point to several locations where there are Starbucks franchises across the street from one another. But I digress. Many times, when you walk into a Starbucks, you'll be greeted by an attractive young woman with a tray full of little paper shot glasses containing the special of the day. You know, a mocha caramel macchiato or some such delicious delicacy. These are free one-gulp samples that they give away, hoping you'll get up to the counter and realize you can't live without whatever marvelously delicious concoction they've just let you try. Your Perma-Free book is utilized in exactly the same way. It's a taste. You give it away, hoping that the reader will then land on your email list, and then by consistent follow-up, they begin to know, like, and trust you, and become, hopefully, addicted to your writing. Again, the real key to it is being able to acquire their email address. Now, here are some stats that show you how effective a Perma-Free campaign can be. A good Perma-Free nonfiction book will probably get between 40 and 100 downloads a day. Much more if you do a little bit of promotion on it. Of those downloads, you'll convert something in the area of 14 to 18% of them into email subscribers. 10 to 12% of those will turn around and buy something from you, either additional books or information products or whatever it is that you have available. On the fiction side, you'll get quite a few more downloads, probably in the 500 to 1,000 a day range, depending on the niche. However, the conversion rate will be a little bit lower. Nonetheless, you'll get around 6% of those downloads opting into your list. Of those, around 15% will buy your next book when you launch it. So after applying this strategy for around 6 to 8 months, give or take a month or two, let's say you manage to attract 10,000 email subscribers. You'd be able to sell roughly 1,500 books on your next launch of a book in the same genre as the one you have perma-free. That amount of sold copies is plenty enough to get you into the #1 position in your category and perhaps even close to the top 100 paid in all of Amazon. Boom! You just published a bestseller. So here's the drill. Pick one of your best titles and set it at 99 cents on Amazon. As mentioned, you can't just upload it to Amazon and set the price to free. You need to give them a little bit of a head fake by uploading the title to Nook, Kobo, and iTunes for free. This can easily be done through a service called Draft to Digital, and that's the URL there on the screen. Once the title is published on the other retailers at 0.00, and keep in mind this may take a few days, even up to as much as a week or two, then you simply email Amazon support, give them the links to the book on the other retailers showing it as free, and politely ask Amazon to price match the title. In most cases, Amazon will oblige within a few days. That's all there is to it. You now have a perma-free book. Prior to publishing the book, you will have made sure that there is a very strong call to action in both the front and the back of the book, with a link sending the reader to your website where you will have a landing page. Look for a tutorial on landing pages coming soon. And this landing page, or squeeze page as some call it, will be equipped with some sort of effective email collection device in order to capture the email address. Now, there is a key wrinkle that you must make sure that you have included in the strategy. You see, people are not going to just hand over their email address. Most people guard that information as if it were their bank account number. An email address is a very personal thing, and you have to give them some kind of incentive to entice them to give it to you. The best way to do this is to offer them something of value for free. This is what Ryan Dice of Digital Marketer calls a lead magnet, and what my friend and mentor Nick Stevenson calls reader magnets. This reader magnet should be something of value that has some relevance to the reader who has just downloaded your free book. This something of value will be, most often, offered as a free download to the reader in exchange for their email address. Some people have called this an ethical bribe. I call it a sale. You've sold the reader magnet to them and they've paid you with their email address, which, as mentioned earlier, can be as valuable as gold. We'll talk about autoresponders and storing and delivering your digital reader magnets in another free report coming very soon, so stay tuned for that one. Here is how all this usually looks. Get Amazon to price match your free title as described above, and here's a look at one of mine. As you can see, looking at the red arrow there, the book The Joy of Less, Volume 3, is priced at 0.00. And here's a screenshot of the amount of free downloads the above book has generated lately. As you can see, I'm averaging plus or minus 50 downloads a day. Then, you'll put a call to action in the front and back of the book featuring something of value that would be enticing to your readers. This is a look at the reader magnet that I have in the Joy of Less book shown above, which when clicked leads them to a landing page that looks something like this. The above landing page usually converts for me at about 30%. So what can you give them as a reader magnet or free offer in exchange for their email address? Well, as we've mentioned, it needs to be something of value and something that is relevant to your readers' interests. In other words, if you're giving away a book about self-publishing, you wouldn't want to include a reader magnet about dog grooming or something. You'd want to give them something helpful, useful, and relevant to their interests. Although, especially with fiction, you may give away another full-length ebook. It doesn't have to be a book. It can be a novella or a special report or even just a checklist as the one I've shown you above. By the way, the content in the above 5-minute Clutter Purge checklist reader magnet is around 1,500 words, and it took me about 3 or 4 hours to put together the whole thing. I paid to have a cover design, but that's the extent of my investment in this reader magnet, and it's been getting plus or minus 50 downloads a day for many months now, and people just eat it up. So that's it. If you're trying to gear up and run a self-publishing business without utilizing the perma-free strategy, it's a little like getting in your car and driving across town with only 3 wheels. Let me know if you have any questions, and look forward to more great self-publishing information as we go along. Good luck, keep writing, and we'll talk to you soon.